oztooltalk. We are very excited to review our first ever AEG tool.
Yeah.
So if you're over in America, you call this Ridgid, we call it AEG. It's the same thing.
Yeah, it is. So this one's the Stealth Drive.
Yes.
The BSS 180p.
Which is an oil impulse driver, not an impact driver.
Yeah, so it's a very different beast. She's got some chunkiness to it, so I'm hoping it's going to put out.
Yeah. So not just the first for the brand, also we've never reviewed this style of driver before.
It's quite different.
It's a brushless unit, it's 3-speed. RPM is 1,000, 1,800 and 2,400 in those 3 speeds.
And then the PPM versus IPM is 1,700.
So pulses per minute.
Yeah, so we'll talk further through the video about what that's going to look like, feel like, and how it actually happens.
Yeah, that's right. Torque is only 64 Newton meters.
Yeah.
So that's nowhere near what you see in an impact driver, but by all reports, these work very differently. So that is a bit misleading.
Yeah, I need some education on that, so the engineer's brain will come out and try and explain how that looks, because to me 64 Newton meters, it's not high enough. It's a very, very different system.
Yeah.
So we're really keen to get into it and give this a go.
That's right, she's a bit bigger and a bit heavier than a regular impact driver. Yep. So anyway, $299 as a skin.
Yep, okay.
So let's go see if it's worth the bucks.
Alrighty.
Okay, so the first thing I wanted to test was the noise level. I'm testing this against one of the other leading impact drivers on the market, and midway through the driving of these bugle batten screws, you can see that it was at about 95 decibels with a peak of 99. And now I'm just trying it out with the dual impact driver to see what the noise difference is. It certainly sounded a lot noisier in reality, and there you go, it's 105 decibels with a peak of 109. Now this is just an app on my phone, it's not highly scientific, but I control the variables pretty well in terms of the distance from the phone and taking the reading at the sort of same point of the screwing. So I'm pretty, it matches up with my real life experience, which was that the Stealth Drive was much quieter, much more comfortable in the ears. This test is just testing the speed and the power of the Stealth Drive against a very, very powerful impact driver in the DeWalt DCF 887. And you can see pretty quickly that the oil impulse was faster at driving these bugle batten screws down into the treated pine log. But you can also see that the regular impact driver, which has a much higher RPM, can back these screws out a fair bit faster, and I think that is due to the RPM of the unit. The Stealth Drive was a fair bit quicker. Right, just testing that it can do coach screws. This is not pre-drilled, 10mm coach screws, and it can definitely do them. It's got plenty of power for it. However, I will note that this was not very comfortable. It vibrates a lot more than a regular impact driver does. With that high torque application, it wasn't very comfortable. Now going to the opposite end of the spectrum, testing out some finer screws in soft material to see how precise the Stealth Drive is. So these are 50mm decking screws. And the motion is quite different. The hydraulically driven Stealth Drive, the oil impulse sort of action, it doesn't hit as many times per minute in terms of impacts or beats, but it turns the screw more with each impact. So it's just a very different feel, and it takes a little while to get used to. I'm not saying that it's not good for precision work, it just takes some getting used to when you're used to a regular impact driver. And just to demonstrate that point, I've grabbed the other impact driver again, just to show you the difference in the action. As you can see, it hits a lot more often, but it doesn't turn the screw as far when it does. And I'm a lot more used to that action, but yeah, nothing wrong with the Stealth Drive for the precision driving as well. Actually, this is where it excels as much as anything else as well. It's a lot more akin to a drill than a regular impact driver is because of its more constant torque. So it's really good at this sort of driving, sort of drilling, whether it's a regular drill bit or an auger bit or a spade bit. This is really fast and really comfortable and really quiet. Okay, so that's a really interesting unit.
Very different, isn't it?
Very quiet.
Yep.
We were comfortable using that at night.
It was 11 o'clock, after 11 o'clock now.
Yeah, so that's really cool. That's going to save your hearing.
It is. I've come in pretty crusty from work and said to Dwayne, I'm not too excited right now to do this. The minute I got a sniff of this at night, something just changed in me and I went, this thing is really comfortable in a tin shed out the back to be using. The last few months I've been banging on about, I've started to go back a bit towards my cordless drill, putting screws in just because of the noise of impact drivers. I'm not yanking your chain on that, and this one, it really does change the game. Now, my comment to you was, 10 decibel, what's that? It's not really enough, but physically, man, it sounds different.
Well, decibels, it's not linear. 10 decibels isn't 10%. You know, in this case, it's a lot of power, a lot of sound difference.
Yeah, which I had no idea.
3 decibels is double the sound power, in joules, watts, whatever, you know. So
yeah, cool.
It's a lot to go up 10 decibels. And man, could we hear it. The regular impact driver this time of night in the 10 shed was not pleasant.
No, it wasn't at all, and I'm dead set blown away by the difference. You pick this thing up and put a couple of coaches in or bugles, and then pick up your regular impact driver, you'll be dead set blown away as well.
That's right. You already saw the power of this is phenomenal. It's more powerful than the most powerful impact drivers.
And what's it rated at?
A 64 newton meters.
64, yeah.
So it's a very different way of rating tools. Power is amazing. If you're putting in bugle batten screws for a living, you know, for whatever reason, whatever you're doing, roofing or something, this is going to make you so much faster. Also, we talked about how nice augering with this is, auger bits. I've got in a 7/8 or a 22mm auger bit here. I would seriously consider, if you're roughing in houses, running through the power cables or the gas.
Through your studs, all that sort of stuff.
This is really short and really comfortable.
It was a bulldog, wasn't it?
It really is. I think this is a genuine possible tool replacement for guys roughing in houses.
We all know that in any impact driver, any impact driver, you can whack this thing in and go through the studs. The different mechanism here and the speed that actually spat the chips out at, I'd have no dramas going, oh right, you use that drill then, I'm still roughing in, and you pop this in. There's not a case of, oh geez, I'm going to be here all day. Super.
It's a lot shorter than a drill, so that's really cool actually. Definitely bigger and heavier, about 2.2 kilograms, and you can feel it in your hand as well. It's definitely heavier than a regular impact driver, which is like 1.6, I think. I think this one's about 1.6.
That's your AEG standard brushless?
That's the top of the range 3-speed brushless impact driver, which we've not done a review on, but it seems like a pretty nice tool so far. But it's got nothing on the Stealth Drive. No. In terms of power.
No, it hasn't. Now, I'm pretty funky with my impact drives. I'm really fussy about them and the size and getting them smaller and smaller. But this thing, I don't see that as a huge issue because we're not talking apples for apples. This is a different beast.
It is.
It's got the power as an impact driver and it does the same job for your fine screws. It was really good. You did a lot more than me.
It was fine.
And the bugles, it was also awesome. But this is a different beast because you guys in your hospitals, you guys, your maintenance guys around, I don't know, retirement type villages, doing fit outs inside cabinets. The difference in this sound, that is its market.
Absolutely. And the power that we just spoke about. Now, a couple of weaknesses. It vibrates more, and I didn't find that a problem with the smaller screws or even the bugle batten screws, but it is a problem for the coach screws. If you're putting in a lot of coach screws, really high torque applications, it vibrates too much for comfort. Having said that, I wasn't pre-drilling,
So maybe if you pre-drilled,
Yeah, a bit
maybe
maybe.
it wouldn't be so much a problem.
But we also did have the conversation that since it's such a different feel, it's such a different mechanism, it's not as though, oh, the vibration is horrendous. It's so different to get your head around not feeling and hearing that clack, 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 clack.
Yeah.
It's a different beast.
It is. One little thing I wasn't that impressed with was the gear selector on the top. It's not a real positive click. It's pretty easy to accidentally go past
Slip it
second.
over. So it's 1, 2 and 3 on top. But
It's not a big deal, but do love the 3 LEDs. Did I already talk about that?
I can't remember, but if we have, I'm going to say it again. I love this little trigger down here because I hit it accidentally, and 3 LEDs come on without having to press the trigger and go. So I reckon that's super.
We better wrap this up. Pretty impressive tool. Going to change the game for some industries.
Yep. 6-year warranty
Yeah.
on the tool,
And
3 on the battery.
That's right.
And for me, just a personal opinion, I want to see that this thing's going to last it out as the other premium brands.
Yeah.
They've got the price, they're saying that they're sitting there.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that's going to be the case, and we're going to monster this thing over the next 3 to 6 months and just make sure she stacks up. But
That's right. And it's a trade warranty, so
you covered.
you get that from Bunnings here in Australia.
Yep.
Anyway, we're pretty excited about it. It's a very cool tool to have as our first AEG one.
Yep.
We've got a 10-inch dual battery miter saw, sliding miter saw, AEG, coming in a month or
And
thereabouts.
so far it's tested really well, guys, so it seems to be married up with what they're promising.
Yeah. So very cool to have some orange on the channel.
Yep.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like.
Yep.
Tell us what you want to see next.
Yeah, certainly comment, guys, we love it.
Awesome. See ya.
See ya.